Good morning. It's time for another episode of Vaping Vids with your host, Charles Darling. It's been a while. It's been too long. That's because I just got out of prison. Well, it wasn't prison, it was county jail, but for those of you that know, that's worse. There's a couple things that need to be known about my hard time. First, it's racially segregated. Kinfolk, that's black people. Woods, whites. Chicanos, that's Mexicans. Paisas, well, that's also Mexicans that were just born in Mexico. Chiefs, those are Indians with the feather, not Eastern Indian. Eastern Indian does not have their own class. They just fall into whichever their skin color matches well with. Another thing that needs to be known, there is no vaping in prison. When I first came in, they immediately told me that I needed to fall into a class. Obviously, based on the color of my skin, whites would have applied most appropriately, but I refused. Charles Darling is not a racist, nor does Charles Darling fall into any racial class. Very quickly, I developed a whole new class, the vapes. No discrimination, we accept all skin color. We accept all race, creed, and belief. All we want is to vape in peace. Now, in prison, there are no vapes. There's everything else, but there's no vapes. So as head of the vapes, I had to quickly prove that I could add some vaping value. And that started the first one, which I call the Pinocchio. Built from items available in prison and a battery that came through in someone's ass, this was the first. Q-tips, straw, battery, wire. You would drizzle a little water-soaked nicotine from a cigarette onto the ends of the Q-tips, push the paperclip, and inhale. Highly effective device. The Pinocchio was popular. The problem is batteries. Not very high in demand to be snuck in. Most people are using their asses for heroin, crystal meth, and other forms of drugs, not batteries. So we then had to improvise. And Charles Darling then created the Cricket. The Cricket also using items very commonly found in jail, a syringe, cotton ball, coat hanger. This device plugged into the jail cell 110 outlet and provided a very, very nice hit. Again, using water-soaked nicotine drizzled onto the cotton swab, plugged in. It was an effective device. It had its drawbacks though. The Cricket did not provide that throat hit that I'd come accustomed to. Having used chili-powered products for so long, I needed the hard hit. I was missing hot lung. Which brings us to the next device. We took a light bulb, hollowed it out. It resembled a mod tank. We would fill that with the juice, also powered by 110 from the jail outlet. It provided the hit. It provided the flavor, but it was very unsafe. The light bulb exploded into multiple people's eyes. Unfortunately, they couldn't see, but then again, they were in prison. They're not missing much, especially when it comes to ladies. That device failed, which then brought us to the vape tube. Still used today in the prison system. The vape tube, use an old water bottle, some paper towels. What was nice is you could add apples or oranges from your lunch, let that sit, and create a flavored e-liquid. Very popular device, still being used today. I'm still head of the vapes, despite being out. I call shots, I call orders, and I call hits. Vape hits. If you're going to prison, contact me. I'll mail you one of my vape starter kits. It has everything you need to smuggle up your ass to be vaping day one. Until next time, stay out of prison, stay out of jail, but if you do, join the vapes. We will keep the nicotine flowing. Until next time, your host, Charles Darling.